Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm actually going to be talking about a couple of cheap transfer possibilities for FC Barcelona. I'm going to be talking about 5 transfer possibilities. So without further ado, let's get to it. So number one, the first transfer I would like Barcelona to get started with is actually Pedro de la Vega. He plays for Club Atlético Lanús, and um, he is 19 years of age. He's a left. He can play on the left side or the right side. So far this season, he's had 5 appearances. He's had 3 assists. Okay. In the previous season, he's had 17 appearances and 4 goals. So there's a sign of promise there. He's young. He's quick. He's very comfortable on the ball. I think he would add some good depth and width to our attacking style of play, especially because Francisco Trincao is not really working out so well right now. So I think that this guy would provide some really good competition. We can either get him in the winter transfer window or we can wait till the summer of 2021. I would prefer to get him in as quick as possible, but I mean, because we have no money right now, we'll see with how it goes, and hopefully we could bring this guy in. Um, like I said before, he's young, and not only that, he's cheap. He on the market right now is worth up to 9.9 million or 10 million in total if you want to round it up. But in the reality, because of the current market, because of the coronavirus pandemic, I do think that he would probably be worth a little less, maybe around 7 to 9 million, around that range, instead of 10 to really 14 million. That's probably around the price they would sell him. But because of the COVID-19 cases right now, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, I really do think that he would be worth a lot less. But we'll see. So the number 2 spot actually that I want to talk about is Marcel Ruiz. He is from Mexico. He plays for Club Tijuana, and he's a center midfielder. So with him, he's showing a lot of promise. He's had 13 appearances so far, no goals, no assists, and everything. But he is a forward passer. He creates chances. He's very strong on the ball. Um, Here's the thing with him. Obviously, we have some other players that could fit the profile, but right now, I do think that we need a little more extra center midfield coverage in the area. I know we have Pedri and we have Ricky Puig, we have Pjanic, we have Busquets, we have all these players really fighting for that role. But here's the thing: we don't really have in like players for the future. I mean, yeah, we have some players here and there that we could use, but in reality, Coleman isn't going to use some of these players, and I think that we really should be building for the future. I think Marcel Ruiz is young, he's talented, there shows a lot of promise, and either way, he's only worth 4.4 million right now inside the transfer market. And if we were to buy him for, let's say, honestly, he'd probably be, because of COVID-19, he'll probably be how it affected the transfer market. He probably would only cost around 2 million to 3 million. We could sell him on for a lot more later on, like 7 to 10 million, if he doesn't work out well. If he does work out well and we still want to sell him, you can get up to words of like 30 million for this guy. So honestly, it would be a good piece of business. But when I was saying before about the spots, I mean, Ricky Puig is probably going to go out on loan in the winter transfer market. Carlos Alenia is also wants to leave the club. You have Pjanic, who's 30, and honestly, yeah, he does have a couple years in the contract and everything, but is he really going to give the best performances? I don't think so. Same thing with Sergio Busquets. I don't think he's going to be giving that good performances. So that really just leaves Frankie de Jong in that midfield, and honestly, we need to build something for the future. Yeah, we also have Pedri. We can bring back Messi as a center midfielder, but honestly, is that really going to happen? Only time will tell, but I don't think that is a likely scenario to happen. So I think that Marcel Ruiz would be a good buy. I think we should buy him, loan him out for 2 years. I think we'll loan him out 1 year back to Club Tijuana, see how he does in Mexico, and then loan him out to a team in the Netherlands or in the lower leagues in England. I think like a team like Bournemouth would do well with him. I think teams like Ajax or PSV Eindhoven would do really well with him. But like I said, we'll see. I think these are really good transfers so far. I think that these 2 players would do well with us. So the number 3 that I want to talk about is Mateus Palacios. He plays for San Lorenzo. He is worth 9.9 million in the market. He's not now. I know he's only had 2 appearances, but he does show a lot of talent. He has a lot of good characteristics to him. He can play a center midfielder, center attacking midfielder. In those 2 games, he's created a couple chances here and there, so there is some promise with him. He's very young. He came from their academy. Like I said before, I think that he would be a really good addition. He'd be a cheap addition too. Like I said, he's only worth about 9.9 million. Honestly, because of today's transfer market, we could probably get him for a lot less. I don't know if that's an accurate representation of his release clause, but if it is, 4.25 million wouldn't be that bad. Loan him out a year, or if not, bring him to Barca B, see how he does in Barca B, or loan him out to a second division team in Spain and see how he does. So the next transfer target I want to talk about is Alex Centelles. So Alex Centelles, okay, he plays for Almeria. He actually used to play for Valencia, but he went on a free to Almeria. I guess because they had that really big exodus. They had like that really big, you know, um, slash of the players. They just got rid of a whole bunch of players. So I'm guessing Alex Centelles was one of them. He plays in the second division right now in Spain with Almeria. He's had 6 appearances so far. He is only worth about 4.4 million in the transfer market, but he's a left back. And yes, even though that Junior Firpo has been having a good couple games lately, that doesn't really mean much. Honestly, he's hasn't really done much for the club to really just regain that spot and really fight with Jordi Alba for that spot. Jordi Alba still has that spot, and he's about 33 years old. So I really do think that we need someone young, someone fresh to kind of compete with Jordi Alba for that spot. And I think Centelles would be a good, cheap alternative to like someone like Jose Gaya, who I would really rather prefer Jose Gaya, but because of right now what we have and because of what, we've been struggling with financially, I think that Alex Centelles would be a really good addition. So before I get to my number one spot, I just want to talk about one more target that Barcelona has actually been really looking at for the past couple weeks and actually past couple months really, and so has Bayern Munich. And his name is Gianluca Busio. He plays for Sporting Kansas City in the United States. Um, He's had 16 appearances so far, 1 goal and 3 assists. So honestly, that's not so bad, especially for the fact that he's only 18 years of age. He's only worth 4.4 in the transfer market. That is a really good deal. And honestly, I know what we're thinking. Oh, he plays in the United States. He's probably not that good. But don't forget, Alphonso Davies also played in the United States. And we also kind of turned our back on him. And yeah, I know maybe this guy isn't exactly like Alphonso Davies, but honestly, there's pretty good. I saw some highlights of his. He really likes to pass forward. He actually plays very well defensively. So he can do it all pretty much in the center of the park. He can play as a box to box. He plays as a ball winning midfielder. He's played as a distributor. He's played in multiple positions in that center line, and he has a knack for passing and stuff like that. So honestly, worst comes to worst, we buy him for 4 million. Let's say it doesn't work out for us too well. Okay, that's fine. We could sell him in a couple years for a little more, maybe around like 6-8 million to a smaller team in like Turkey or another team around that area in the Europeans in Europe. If not, I think we should buy him and loan him out for 2 years. Honestly, I think loaning him out for 1 or 2 years would be pretty good. Get him some experience. Let him finish out whatever he's doing over there in the United States, then loan him out for 2 years to a team in the Netherlands or a team in like the lower divisions of England or Germany or even France. I think those sides and those countries would do well with a young talent like Gianluca. He's of Italian heritage, so honestly, even throwing him out back in Italy, back in the lower divisions in Italy, or a first team in Italy like Sassuolo or a team like Torino wouldn't do him so bad, get him some experience. So the last player that I want to talk about is Manuel Locatelli. So he plays for Sassuolo. He's 22 years old. 22 years old. He plays as a center mid, or he can play as a center defensive mid. So Locatelli has had 13 appearances and 2 goals so far in the Serie A. And he's had a couple of yellow cards, but honestly, he is one of their best players. He's a bright spark right now for that Sassuolo side. He will definitely cost a little bit more. It says that he's around. I think he's around like 38 million. Honestly, because of the coronavirus pandemic, we could probably get him less. I think we can probably get him for around 24 to 26 million. Yeah, I know we're probably gonna have to sell somebody in order to be able to afford this guy, but it's so worth it. This guy is a center mid, center defensive mid. He can play as a box to box, a ball winner. He works hard and he works really well in the press. And honestly, right now with Koeman's system, that's someone that we need. I think some pair him with someone like Frankie De Jong and Pedri in the midfield with that 4-3-3 formation, and I really do think that Locatelli will thrive under him. He would be cheap. He's a lot cheaper than other talents that we've looked at in the past before. He is really, really promising, and because of the team that he comes from, like Sassuolo, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind, you know, if we paid a little less than what they're really asking for. I mean, we're a club like Barcelona. We should be able to get these kind of transfers for relatively cheap because of our stature of the club. Like, look at Serginho Dest. We managed to tell him, don't play for Bayern, come to us. And I know playing time had a big effect on that, but honestly, we still have that pulling power even after we got thrashed by them. But please, 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 Barca, I really hope they go after this kid. He's really well. He's played for AC Milan as well. Yes, he got loaned out and then transferred out, but I think they really did lose a wonderful, wonderful talent with Locatelli. So yeah, that's about it. Those are 5 transfers and one extra in there for you guys to enjoy. And if you guys enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments if you guys want anything else. You guys have any criticisms, or if you guys want to talk about it, just let me know. All right. Thanks. Have a great day.